Welcome back to Bennock's Garage. Today we are working on a 2011 Ford Focus. The power steering has gone out. It's like an electric power steering. The electric unit's actually built into it. The unit itself is $1,200, but if you go to a junkyard, they're about $100. So we're going to be pulling out the old one, putting in the new one, and getting this back on the road. This one's set for over a year because the lady couldn't afford to have it done. The Ford dealer wanted like $2,500, $2,800 to have it done through the dealership, so she reached out to us and we're going to do it cheap. Step one, you want to take the 10mm bolt out of the steering linkage and pull up on it to release it. Next, I'm going to be removing the brakes. You're going to be removing the tires, and then tie rod ends. You're going to take the 10mm, drop down your plastic, and this whole subframe unit, you're going to have to drop down far enough to slide it out because there's not enough room to come out through the side. So that's probably 17, 18mm here, 21, 22mm here. Alright, next you're going to remove your cross brace. You got to take out your two 13mm to get ready to take off your subframe, or take down your subframe. From there, take your 15 and drop your lower motor mount. Yeah, looks like another one here. We disconnected the sway bar ends just to be on the safe side. And Lance is actually disconnecting the exhaust for the subframe. And I think then our next move is going to be removing the 21mm bolts here. And then once this drops down a little bit, we can take our 18s and get to the top with another ratchet and be able to take off our lower control arm mount and sway bar mount on the top. Alright, we got everything disconnected, and we ended up using a bottle jack, transmission jack, to hold it up, and we can lower it just as far as we need to so we can actually get these two off on both sides. That holds the sway bar on and the lower control arm on. And then all we gotta do is disconnect here, and there's two plugs in the back of the tranny, or two plugs in the back of the power steering that has to come out. Okay, when you get to your pump, your power steering, you just gotta take off the top one and the bottom one. The middle one crosses over to the other side, so you don't have to take off the middle one. Alright, the old one is out. The junkyard one is in. I'm starting to wire it up now. Actually, it didn't go as bad as I thought it would. It took about an hour to come out. Of course, we have a lift and we have all the proper stuff to do it with. If you're doing this in your yard, I can only imagine it taking several hours compared to a single hour. But by the time it's all said and done, get everything relocated and lined up, we're gonna have about 3 hours of time in it. We charge $30 an hour, so it's gonna be right around $100, $90 labor. So, not too bad. Now, what we do, hook the wires up, put the 3 bolts in. That's 15mm, 3 bolts in to hold this in. Put your sway bar back in, and start buttoning it back up.